with Carmen series. We originally started this series to really come a Heritage Month to be able to highlight some of our rising APA talent in San Francisco Bay Area and connect you to some of the people behind the scenes when it comes to our favorite eats. It was a good way for us not only to highlight the accomplishments of APA community members, but also to have a way to really highlight and support our local businesses. So today, I wanted to do something a little bit special. I think for many people who may know me, I actually grew up in Southern California with my parents, and I grew up in the restaurant business. My mom and dad had a restaurant from as young as when I was 2 years old, and I can always remember being at my parents' restaurant and really just sneaking a egg roll or a fried wonton or two, but always, just as I grew up, really helping out. They were the people who taught me about how to make sure that I continue to work hard, to really value people and make sure that every life does matter and that we really do recognize all of the contributions that people have and the struggles that people have. So I have so much to be thankful for my parents, and I'm really excited today to bring to you my dad, who was a chef in our household, and to have him share some of my favorite recipes. So with that, again, I just want to thank you all for joining us today, and I'm going to turn it over to say hi to Mom and Dad. Mom, say hi.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, Dad.
Hello.
Okay, so the first thing that we're going to make for you today is going to be a beef wonton. This is something that we have always had at the restaurant. It's a nice appetizer to be able to make. My mom's going to show you how to wrap it. So she's got a square wrapper here, and she's wrapping up the inside. So you can imagine it's not that hard to do, but you kind of need to be watching out for how she does it. So I'm going to do another quick look. So there you go. She's putting a little bit in. She's using an egg, a beaten egg, to kind of be able to secure it. And she's going to do one more so you can see. Very nice. All right. So Mom, 你問一問你入邊嗰牛肉有咩㗎？
有啲蠔油啦，有啲豉油啦，葱啦，同埋啲散檸醋啦，啲薑啦。So
I've asked my mom what's inside this beef mixture, and so just so folks know, we're going to share the recipe with you all, but it has some ginger, sugar, soy sauce, oyster sauce, a little bit of water, some rice wine, white pepper, vegetable, and sesame oil. And then you can add, of course, green onions or cilantro to your liking. So Mom is going to fry up some of these wontons for us. She actually did some pre-wrapping ahead of time so that we can have them ready to go. Okay, Mom got it. Okay. So she's going to be frying it up here at the stovetop. So essentially, once the oil goes in, and you have to put it onto high. But the one thing that she likes to do in order to make sure you know when the oil is ready to put something in, because the last thing you want is sort of oil that's not hot enough, is that you would be taking a look at throwing just a small piece of onion or something like that in it. If it floats to the top, your oil is ready to go. So you see that it did, for the most part, fry pretty quickly. All right. So while Mom is making the wontons over here, Dad's going to start making the shrimp with lobster sauce. Okay, so just so folks know, we've got about a pound of shrimp here. It's a size 16 to 20 or so. So that roughly is about how many shrimps are in 1 pound. We've got about a pound of shrimp here. It's been marinated ahead of time so that it's a little bit crunchy. And the secret here, from what my dad said, is that you're supposed to put it in salt water for a little bit of time right before you cook it. That way it's a little bit more crisp and a little bit more crunchy. On top of that, we've got some onions, some bell peppers, ginger, minced ginger and garlic, green onions, amongst a number of other things that we'll walk you through. Okay, Papa, 開始啦喎.
Yeah, okay.
So Dad's going to start. 開着火先啦. He's turning on the stove, and he's putting a healthy dose of vegetable oil in. because what he's going to do first is he's going to cook the shrimp and then pull that out. As you can see, Dad's paying attention to what Mom's doing over there. And by the way, Mom actually has an extra long pair of chopsticks. You could buy them. It's really handy for when you're frying things. So Dad has turned on the stove to high heat. He added vegetable oil in. He's really just stir frying the shrimp right now to cook it, and then he'll pull it out. I think my mom and dad had a restaurant for most of my life, I think since I was 2 years old, really. And so from when I was a little girl to even as a college student, I still remember going there every weekend to help out. And I know for my mom and dad, you know, it was something that they did because it was a way that they could help the family to be able to make ends meet. But, you know, they worked incredibly hard. I don't think they ever took a day off until probably the last few years, honestly, and they only took half a day off on Mondays. So you see the shrimp is nicely browning here. Right beforehand, my dad actually had coated the shrimp a little bit with cornstarch, a little bit of oil and pepper. And the reason is that so when you cook it, it still retains a little bit more of that crunch. So it's nice to be able to have. Meanwhile, Mom is doing great over there with the wonton. Hi, Mom. Hi, Carolina. Hi, Jason. So Dad took out some of the oil because it was too much. Hi, Evil Toy Factory. Are you making any new toys? So next, he's putting in the onions, the bell peppers, unfortunately, Thai Polly, we don't deliver. But we'll share the recipe with you so that you're able to make it at home yourself. So Mom is still working on that wonton over there in that corner. She's adding a little bit more oil back. I mean, we remember, especially when we were younger, just how hard it was to have a businesses kind of make it. And so I think for a lot of businesses in particular, many of them actually go out of business within the first few years. And so I think being able to have a long-lasting business is a pretty tough thing. But I think especially right now when so many of our businesses are undergoing a pretty difficult time with COVID-19, it's really important to try as much as we can to support our local businesses. At the end of the day, most of our businesses are supporting our local communities. Many of them do give back and donate to schools and so on. And so to the extent that you're able to, it's really a great thing to be able to look up your favorite restaurants and see what they might be serving. So many of them are still doing kind of curbside pickups right now, and I think outdoor dining is beginning to start this coming Friday. So just remember as you go out there to still be safe, make sure you wear facial coverings and keep distance, but let's also support our local businesses while we're at it. Okay, so Dad, returning to the delicious cooking, Dad has pulled up the onions and the bell peppers and put them aside. He's now put in the ginger and garlic with some oil, and they usually do this and add them into the oil so that it's a little bit more fragrant in terms of getting the flavor and taste out. Dad added a little bit of wine, cooking wine. So here are some of the things that we use: cooking wine and oil, soy sauce, sesame oil, black bean sauce. Now he's added back all of the ingredients. That's about 1.5 cups of water that he's added. This is to make the gravy or sauce in shrimp with lobster sauce. That's a bit of soy sauce that he's adding in. A touch of sesame oil. What he had there was a black bean and garlic sauce. I think for a lot of folks who have parents who cook, who've cooked for them at home, you know how hard it is to get them to tell you how much proportion of things you should add. So we've gotten all that information and we're going to share that with you. So, beginning to come together nicely. So, Evil Toy Factory, I'd say my favorite food growing up, a comfort dish growing up, when I was at home alone, because we were kind of latchkey kids at home when my parents were working, was honestly a can of corn. It was an easy thing to just be able to pop open when you get home. And so that was my comfort food when I was a kid, straight out of school and hungry at home with nothing in the fridge sometimes. But at the restaurant, when I was there at the restaurant, my favorite thing to eat was like orange chicken. I loved eating my dad's chicken with broccoli sauce. So Dad is trying now the sauce. So those were my favorites. Do you see it sizzling up nicely? Dad had added about a teaspoon of sugar earlier. He thinks it needs a little bit more, so he's going to add a touch more. That looks about like half a teaspoon of sugar. Hey Mom, how's it going?
Oh, okay. Almost done.
Almost done. Now he's adding a cornstarch with water mixture. And for folks, this is actually something that helps to thicken the sauce so that you have that kind of gravy consistency that you know and love from some of your dishes. Hey Jay, good to see you. Looking good. So luckily for us, this is what we're actually having for lunch today. Edo head, the one dish I love but can't replicate. That's a good question. I would probably say something that's like my dad's dried fried chicken with Szechuan sauce. It's so incredibly hard to cook and fry something in the kitchen. So Dad is turning that off now. And he added eggs. I didn't even see him add the egg earlier. So he added the eggs. But once you add the egg, you don't mix it right away, otherwise it's going to disperse and break up. So you kind of want to let it cook in the sauces just a little bit before it is that you mix it. So Dad is adding just a touch more sesame oil.
Okay.
Hi Sin Davis, hi Fit and Essa, thanks for joining us. And it looks like it's almost done. So he is plating it. Looking good. All right. So here we have Dad's shrimp with lobster sauce. Something I remember eating so yummy. You eat this with a nice bowl of steamed rice and then fried wontons. So what I like to do with the fried wontons is that we love dipping it in some kind of a sweet and sour sauce. You can make some at home, but usually I just buy the sweet chili sauce that you can find at your markets, pretty easy. So I'll take one, give it to Mom.
Oh, yeah.
Give it to Mom. How is it, Mom? Try it.
Oh. Okay.
Okay. And our shrimp with lobster sauce. So thank you everybody for joining us with Cooking with Carmen. We again are so happy and blessed to be able to share this meal with you, and hopefully you'll get to try this out at home. Next time, we look forward to seeing you again, and don't forget to support your local businesses as much as you can. Thanks so much. Say bye.